Edmund shrugged. History is written by the victors. And I intend to be victorious. He turned to his brother, who had just entered the cellar. Kill them both. Make it look like they attacked each other. A tragic murder-suicide. The mad Lord Thornfield killed the innocent village girl, then took his own life in remorse. Captain Blackwell drew his sword with a smile. With pleasure, brother. Unexpected allies. Stop. A new voice echoed through the cellar. Everyone turned. Thomas, the village blacksmith, stood at the top of the stairs with 10 armed men behind him. Elena gasped. Thomas? How? Did you think I would let you ride off into danger without following? Thomas said, descending into the cellar with his men. I may not be a soldier, but I know when someone I care about needs help. Behind Thomas came more familiar faces. Villagers from Ashford, farmers and merchants and common people, all armed with whatever weapons they could find. And at the back, dressed in the uniform of the King's Guard, was an elderly man Elena recognized. Lord Ashford. Marcus exclaimed. You are alive? Very much so, my boy. Lord Ashford stepped forward, leaning on a cane. Though the Blackwells certainly tried to remedy that. Fortunately, an old soldier is hard to kill. Edmund Blackwell's face had gone white. How did you? Did you really think your conspiracy was completely secret? Ashford asked. Your father and I investigated you for months before we had enough proof. When they were killed, I went into hiding to protect the evidence. And I have been watching ever since, waiting for the right moment to strike. He gestured to the King's Guards. Arrest these men. Edmund Blackwell and his brother are charged with treason, murder and conspiracy against the crown. The Blackwell brothers tried to fight, but they were quickly overpowered. As the guards dragged them away, Edmund locked eyes with Marcus. If we survive this, Elena replied, matching his smile, I am going to hold you to that promise. The cellar door opened. Edmund Blackwell descended the stairs, dressed in fine clothes despite the late hour. He was an older, softer version of his brother, round-faced where Captain Blackwell was hard, smooth where his brother was scarred. But his eyes held the same cruel intelligence. Lord Marcus Thornfield, Edmund said pleasantly, risen from the dead. How biblical. Blackwell. Marcus's voice was cold. I know what you did. I know you murdered my family. Of course you do. Why else would you be here? Edmund circled them slowly, like a predator studying prey. Your father was so close to exposing me. A little too clever for his own good. As was Lord Morrison here. He gestured at Elena. Your father nearly ruined everything, my dear. He found financial records that should have stayed hidden. You are a traitor, Elena spat. You sold England's secrets for gold. I prefer to think of it as intelligent business, Edmund replied smoothly. Why should I serve a king who pays me a pittance when our enemies offer fortunes? Loyalty is expensive. I simply found a better buyer. You sent soldiers to their deaths, Marcus said through gritted teeth. English boys died because of your betrayal. For the first time, Edmund's pleasant mask slipped. Spare me your moral outrage. You gave orders at Waterloo that sent boys to die. At least I profited from my decisions. The truth of it hit Marcus like a blow. Edmund saw his reaction and smiled. Yes, I know about your war nightmares. About the guilt that keeps you awake. We are not so different, you and I. We both have blood on our hands. We are nothing alike, Marcus said. I killed to protect my country. You killed to betray it. After the soldiers left, Elena and Marcus sat in the darkness, listening to their footsteps fade away. I am sorry, Marcus said quietly. I should never have brought you here. I chose to come, Elena replied. And we found what we were looking for. We know the truth now. Much good it does us locked in a cellar waiting to be murdered. Elena rattled her chains, testing their strength. No use, they were solid iron. There must be a way out. Elena. Marcus's voice was soft but serious. If Edmund Blackwell comes down here, he will kill us both. But if you tell him you know nothing, that I forced you to help me, he might let you live. No. Elena. I said no. She looked at him fiercely across the cellar. We are in this together, Marcus. Whatever happens, happens to both of us. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke again, his voice was rough with emotion. I was wrong earlier. I do have something to lose now. I have you. Elena's heart swelled. Marcus. When this started, all I wanted was revenge. To make my family's murderers pay. But then I met you again. And you reminded me that life is more than vengeance. You gave me hope when I had none. You showed me kindness when I deserved none. He strained against his chains, desperate to reach her. I love you, Elena Morrison. I should have said it before, but I was afraid. Afraid that caring for you would put you in danger. But you are already in danger, and I cannot die without telling you the truth. Tears streamed down Elena's face. I love you too. From the moment I found you at my door, something in my heart recognized you. Not just from 5 years ago, but as if my soul knew yours. They stared at each other across the darkness, two people who had found love in the most impossible circumstances. If we survive this, Marcus said with a slight smile, I am going to marry you. I do not care that you are a village healer and I am a lord. I do not care what society says. He held the letter up to the moonlight. Faint words appeared between the lines, visible only in certain light. Invisible ink, Elena whispered. My father taught me about it when I was a child. You use lemon juice, and it only appears when heated or backlit. The hidden message was short but devastating. Documents hidden in London. Bank of England. Safety box 847. Key with William Morrison. Trust no one. The bank, Marcus said. That is why they have been so desperate to find me. They think I have the key. Do you? No. But I know where it might be. Marcus looked at Elena with new determination. Your father gave the journal to Lord Ashford for safekeeping. Perhaps he gave him the key as well. A voice behind them made them both freeze. How touching. The dead lord and the hidden heiress working together. They spun around. Captain Blackwell stood in the doorway with 5 armed men. His scarred face twisted into a cruel smile. Did you really think we would not be watching this place? Blackwell asked. I have had men guarding every entrance for years, waiting to see if anyone came searching. And look what gifts the night has brought, 2 birds with 1 stone. Captured. The soldiers grabbed Marcus and Elena roughly. Marcus fought back, knocking 2 men down before they subdued him. Elena tried to run, but strong hands caught her arms. Bring them to the cellar, Blackwell ordered. Lord Edmund will want to question them personally. They were dragged through the manor to the wine cellar beneath the kitchen. The room was cold and dark, lit only by a single torch. Marcus and Elena were chained to opposite walls, just far enough apart that they could not reach each other. Check them for weapons, Blackwell said. His men removed Marcus's sword and Elena's hidden knife. But in their hurried search, they missed the small letter still tucked in Marcus's boot. The study was exactly as she remembered. Her father's desk, his chair, his beloved books lining the walls. Moonlight streamed through the windows, making everything look ghostly and unreal. Where would he hide something important? Marcus asked. Elena closed her eyes, remembering. Her father had been a careful man, cautious. He would not hide evidence in an obvious place. But where? The chess set, she said suddenly. She crossed to a beautiful wooden chessboard on a side table. My father and I used to play together. He always said the queen was the most powerful piece, the one that protected the king. She picked up the white queen and twisted its base. Something clicked. The bottom of the chess piece opened, revealing a small rolled paper. You found it, Marcus breathed. Elena's hands trembled as she unrolled the paper. It was a letter written in her father's handwriting. To whoever finds this, I pray it is someone who seeks truth. I have discovered the identity of the traitor selling England's secrets. The proof is enclosed signed documents, coded messages, bank records showing payments from enemy agents. The traitor is Lord Edmund Blackwell, advisor to His Majesty the King. He has betrayed everything for gold. God forgive me, I did not want to believe it. But the evidence is clear. Blackwell must be stopped before. The letter ended abruptly, as if her father had been interrupted. Edmund Blackwell, Marcus said quietly, the king's most trusted advisor. That is why my father was murdered. That is why your father died. They got too close to the truth. Where is the proof he mentioned? Elena searched through the chess piece but found nothing else. Marcus examined the letter carefully. Look, the ink changes here. He wrote the proof is enclosed, but then continued with different ink. What if? We may already be too late, Marcus said as they paused to rest the horses. The sun was rising, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. We have to try, Elena insisted. Marcus looked at her with such intensity that her breath caught. You could die for this. You know that, do you not? So could you. I have nothing left to lose. Neither do I. Elena lifted her chin. My parents are dead. My home was taken. I have lived in hiding for 5 years. If I do not fight now, what was it all for? Marcus smiled. A real smile that transformed his face. You are the bravest person I have ever met. Or the most foolish, Elena replied, but she smiled back. They reached the Morrison estate by nightfall of the second day. Elena's heart clenched when she saw her childhood home. The manor looked the same. The same stone walls, the same tall windows, the same gardens her mother had loved. But everything was different now. We cannot go through the front, Elena whispered. They hid their horses in the forest and circled to the back of the estate. There. Elena pointed to a window on the second floor. That is my father's study. There is a servant's entrance below it that should still be unlocked. Should be. I hope. They were in luck. The small door opened easily, its hinges well-oiled. They crept through the darkened servants' corridors, Marcus leading the way with a confidence that suggested he had done this before. Where did you learn to move so quietly? Elena whispered. My father trained me in more than just noble manners, Marcus replied. He knew our family had enemies. He wanted me prepared. They reached the study without incident. Elena pulled out the key she had kept hidden for 5 years and unlocked the door. Her hands shook as she turned the handle. I became a healer because I needed a reason to be here. A way to survive alone. Understanding dawned in Marcus's eyes. Your father was helping mine. They were working together to expose the traitor. And both were murdered for it, Elena finished quietly. They stared at each other across the candlelight, 2 orphans bound together by their father's shared fate. There is more, Marcus said grimly. He turned to a page near the end of the journal. My father wrote this the day before he died. William discovered the proof we needed. The traitor is someone close to the king himself. Someone we all trust. Tomorrow we present our evidence. May God protect us all. But he never got the chance, Elena said. No. And whatever proof your father found, it died with him. Marcus slammed his fist on the table in frustration. Without proof, I cannot accuse anyone. I am dead in the eyes of the law, Elena. If I reveal myself without evidence, they will simply kill me again and call it justice. Elena's mind raced. My father had a study at our old estate. When I left, I locked it and hid the key. If he found proof, it might still be there. Marcus looked at her with sudden hope. Where is this estate? 2 days' ride north. But Marcus, it is dangerous. The new lord who took possession of the property is... She stopped, her face going pale. What? Who is it? Elena met his eyes with growing horror. Lord Edmund Blackwell. Captain Blackwell's older brother. The Morrison estate. They left that night, traveling under darkness. Marcus had stolen 2 horses from a farm, leaving more than enough gold to pay for them. Elena had never ridden so fast, but fear drove her forward. If Edmund Blackwell had taken possession of her family's estate, it meant the Blackwells were deeply involved in the conspiracy. And if they discovered her father's proof, thinner, harder with shadows under his eyes. But those green eyes still held warmth when they looked at her. I should not have come, Marcus said. But I needed to see you. To make sure you are safe. The soldiers came back. They asked more questions. What did you tell them? Nothing. There is nothing to tell. Elena touched his face gently. You look tired. Marcus caught her hand and held it against his cheek. I have been traveling between manor houses, searching through old family records. Elena, I have discovered something terrible. He pulled out a leather journal from his coat. This belonged to my father. I found it hidden in Lord Ashford's library. He must have given it to Ashford for safekeeping before he died. Elena lit a candle and they sat together at her small table. Marcus opened the journal with shaking hands. My father discovered a conspiracy, Marcus explained. Someone has been selling England's military secrets to our enemies. Not just small secrets, information about troop movements, defense plans, even the locations of the king's treasury shipments. Dear God, Elena whispered. Who? That is what I am trying to discover. My father was close to revealing the traitor's identity when Marcus's voice broke. When they killed him. Killed all of them. Elena studied the journal pages. The writing was coded, but some names were clear. She froze when she saw one name repeated several times. Marcus, she said slowly. This name here, Lord William Morrison. That is my father's name. Marcus looked up sharply. Your father? He died 5 years ago. A hunting accident, they said. But my mother never believed it. Elena's hands trembled as she traced her father's name. She said he was investigating something dangerous. She told me to leave our estate, to hide in a small village where no one knew our family name. 3 weeks passed since Marcus disappeared into the storm. Elena tried to continue her normal life, but nothing felt normal anymore. Every sound made her jump. Every stranger made her afraid. The soldiers had returned twice more, asking questions, watching her cottage. She lay awake at night wondering if Marcus was safe, if he had shelter, if his wounds had reopened. The kiss on her forehead haunted her dreams. So gentle, so full of unspoken promise. Elena was gathering water from the village well one morning when she heard the whispers. Did you hear? Lord Ashford's manor was broken into last night. What did they take? Nothing apparently. But someone went through all the old Duke's papers. Very strange. Elena's pulse quickened. Lord Ashford had been her father's close friend before both men died. Could Marcus have? That night, Elena found a small package hidden beneath her doorstep. Inside was a letter written in elegant handwriting. Elena, forgive my silence. I am safe. I am searching for the truth about my family's murder. Trust no one. I think of you every day. When this is over I will return. Wait for me. M. Elena pressed the letter to her chest, relief flooding through her. He was alive. He remembered her. But the letter raised more questions than it answered. What truth was he searching for? And why did he warn her to trust no one? A visitor in the night. The answer came a week later, in the darkest hours before dawn. Elena woke to a gentle tapping at her window. She grabbed a knife from under her pillow, a habit she had developed since the soldiers' visits, and approached cautiously. A familiar face looked back at her through the glass. Marcus. Elena threw open the window and he climbed inside, moving stiffly from his still healing injuries. After they left, Elena sank to her knees among the ruins of her cottage. She looked at the back window where Marcus had disappeared into the forest. Rain had begun to fall again, washing away his footprints. Be safe, she whispered to the empty room. Please be safe. She did not know that Marcus stood in the forest shadows, watching her cottage, his hands clenched into fists. He had heard everything. The scarred soldier was someone he recognized now, Captain Blackwell, his father's most trusted guard. The man who had betrayed them all. Marcus touched the ring around his neck. His family was dead. His name was destroyed. He had nothing left but truth and vengeance. And now one more reason to survive. A brown-eyed healer who had risked everything for a stranger. I will come back, Marcus promised the darkness. And when I do, Blackwell and whoever paid him will answer for their crimes. He turned and disappeared deeper into the forest, carrying with him the memory of Elena's kindness and the burning need for redemption. Elena's heart raced. She looked at Marcus, seeing the same fear in his eyes. If the soldiers found him here, they would both die, Marcus for surviving when he should be dead, and Elena for hiding him. The back window, Elena whispered urgently. Go now. I will not leave you to face them alone. If they find you, we are both dead. If you escape, you can clear your family's name. Go. Marcus hesitated only a moment. He grabbed Elena's face and kissed her forehead quickly. I will come back for you. I swear it. He disappeared through the back window just as the front door burst open. 3 soldiers entered, led by a tall man with a cruel scar across his face. "Where is he?" the scarred soldier demanded. Elena forced herself to look confused. "Where is who, sir?" "Do not play games, woman. We know a man has been staying here. The village talks." "I am a healer," Elena said calmly, though her heart pounded. "Many people come to me for medicine. You will have to be more specific." The scarred soldier grabbed her arm roughly. "A nobleman. Injured. Running from justice. The only nobleman I have treated recently was old Lord Hampton, who had gout. Would you like his address?" The soldier's eyes narrowed. He released her arm and gestured to his men. "Search the cottage." Elena watched as they tore through her home, throwing herbs and medicines to the floor, overturning furniture, destroying everything she owned. They found nothing, of course. Marcus was gone. Finally, the scarred soldier turned back to her. "If you see this man, you report him immediately. The reward is 1,000 gold coins. But if you hide him..." He leaned close, his breath foul. "The punishment is death. I returned early from a journey and saw..." He closed his eyes. "I saw my father, my mother, my younger brother trapped inside. I tried to save them, but the fire was too strong. And then someone struck me from behind." "Oh, Marcus." Elena breathed. "My name is Marcus Thornfield. Lord Marcus Thornfield. And someone murdered my family and tried to murder me." The truth hung between them like a heavy curtain. Marcus was not just any nobleman. He was the sole surviving heir of one of England's greatest families. A man the world believed was dead. "Why did they want your family dead?" Elena asked. Marcus's jaw tightened. "My father discovered something. A plot, a betrayal at the highest levels. He was going to expose it to the king. But someone stopped him first. And now they are looking for you." "Yes. They must believe I know what my father knew. And they are right." Marcus looked at Elena with desperate intensity. "I cannot stay here. I am putting you in danger." Elena lifted her chin stubbornly. "You are not fully healed. You cannot travel alone. And you have nowhere safe to go." "Elena." "No." She stepped closer to him. "You saved my life once. Even if you do not remember it." Marcus looked confused. "What do you mean?" Elena took a deep breath. 5 years ago, I was attacked by bandits on the road. A young nobleman stopped his carriage and drove them away. He gave me coins for medicine and made sure I reached home safely. I never forgot his kindness. Or his green eyes. Marcus stared at her in wonder. "That was you? The girl with flowers in her basket. You remember?" "I do now." A slow smile crossed his face, the first real smile she had seen from him. "Fate brought us together again." Before Elena could respond, a loud knock shattered the moment. Both of them froze. The knock came again, harder this time. A rough voice called out, "Open up! King's soldiers searching for a fugitive." Shadows at the door. One afternoon, while they worked in her small garden, Marcus suddenly froze. His hand went to his head and pain crossed his face. "Marcus? What is it?" "I remembered something," he said slowly. "A house? No, a manor. Burning. And screaming. Someone calling my name." He looked at Elena with haunted eyes. "I think something terrible happened. I think people died." Elena took his hand. "The memories will come when you are ready." That night Marcus woke screaming. Elena rushed to his side. He was drenched in sweat, his eyes wide with terror. "They are all dead," he gasped. "My family. I saw them die. Fire everywhere. And he was there watching, smiling." "Who? Who was watching?" "I cannot see his face." Marcus gripped Elena's hand desperately. "But I know him. And I know he wants me dead too." Elena held him until the shaking stopped. "You are safe here," she whispered. "I promise." The crest and the truth. The next morning, Elena was preparing breakfast when she noticed Marcus staring at the ring on his chain. The one he always wore but never mentioned. "Do you recognize it?" she asked carefully. Marcus held the ring up to the light. The gold gleamed, showing a detailed family crest. A thornbush beneath a crown. His face went pale. "Thornfield," he whispered. This is the Thornfield family crest. Thornfield. Elena's heart skipped. Everyone in England knew that name. The Thornfield family had been one of the most powerful noble families, until tragedy struck 6 months ago. But the Thornfields were killed in a fire. The entire family died when their manor burned down. No, Marcus said, his voice growing stronger as memories flooded back. Not all of them. I survived, because I was not supposed to be there that night. Whispers in the village. By the second week, the stranger was strong enough to walk around the cottage. His memories remained hidden, appearing only in brief flashes that frustrated him. He remembered violence, swords clashing, men shouting, flames rising into the night sky. But nothing more. I think my name begins with M, he said one evening as they sat by the fire. Marcus, perhaps? Or Matthew? Marcus suits you, Elena said with a small smile. Then Marcus it shall be, until I remember otherwise. Word of the mysterious stranger spread through Ashford village like wildfire. People whispered outside Elena's cottage. Some were curious. Others were suspicious. The village blacksmith, Thomas, came to visit with poorly hidden concern. Elena, who is this man? Thomas asked, looking at Marcus with distrust. He appears at your door half dead, and you take him in without question? Would you have me leave him to die in the mud? Elena replied firmly. But we know nothing about him. He could be dangerous. Marcus stood, despite his still healing wounds. You are right to be cautious. I wish I could tell you who I am. But I assure you I mean Miss Morrison no harm. She saved my life and I am grateful. Thomas looked between them and finally nodded. Very well. But Elena, be careful. After Thomas left, Marcus turned to Elena. He cares for you. Thomas is a good man and a good friend. He worries, that is all. Is there something between you? Elena felt her face flush. No. He has asked, but my heart is not interested. Why had she said that? Elena busied herself with stirring the soup, embarrassed by her own honesty. Dangerous connections. As days turned into weeks, Elena and Marcus grew closer. He helped her gather herbs in the forest. She taught him about plants and their healing properties. He was a quick learner, intelligent and thoughtful. Sometimes when he concentrated, Elena saw glimpses of the man he must have been: educated, powerful, born to lead. She cleaned each wound carefully. The man groaned in pain but did not wake. When she stitched the deeper cuts, his body tensed but still he slept. Elena made a paste from healing herbs and spread it on his wounds. Finally, she wrapped clean bandages around his chest. As she worked, she noticed other things. His hands were strong but had calluses in strange places, not from farming or common work. There was a mark on his shoulder, like a family crest that had been burned into his skin long ago. And around his neck, hidden under his shirt, was a golden chain with a ring. The ring bore a noble family seal. You are running from something, Elena said softly. Or someone. The awakening. 3 days passed. The stranger remained unconscious, caught in a fever dream. Elena barely left his side. She changed his bandages, made him drink water and medicine, and whispered prayers for his recovery. On the 4th morning, his eyes finally opened. They were the most striking green eyes Elena had ever seen, sharp and intelligent, even clouded with pain. He looked around the cottage in confusion, then at Elena sitting beside his bed. Where am I? His voice was rough, barely a whisper. In Ashford village, Elena answered gently. You were injured. I found you at my door during the storm. He tried to sit up but winced in pain. Elena placed a hand on his shoulder. Please rest. Your wounds are still healing. The man closed his eyes, and Elena saw him struggling to remember something. My name is. He stopped, frustrated. I cannot remember. You have been badly hurt, Elena said. Sometimes the mind needs time to heal, just like the body. How long have I been here? 4 days. He looked at her with those intense green eyes. You saved my life. Elena felt her cheeks grow warm. I am a healer. It is what I do. What is your name? Elena. Elena Morrison. He repeated her name slowly, as if tasting it. Thank you, Elena Morrison. The storm's gift. The rain fell like angry tears from the dark sky. Elena wiped her wet hands on her apron as thunder shook the small cottage. She had been preparing herbs for medicine when she heard a strange sound outside her door. At first she thought it was just the wind playing tricks. But then she heard it again. A low groan, weak and painful. Elena grabbed her lantern and opened the wooden door. The wind nearly pushed her back inside. She held the light forward and gasped. A man lay face down in the mud near her doorstep. Blood mixed with rainwater around his body. "Dear God," Elena whispered. She set down the lantern and knelt beside him. His expensive coat was torn and dirty. His dark hair stuck to his face. She checked his neck for a pulse. Thank heavens he was still alive. Elena was not a large woman, but years of hard work had made her strong. She grabbed the man under his arms and dragged him inside. Her muscles burned with effort. Once inside, she closed the door against the storm and looked at her unexpected guest. Healing hands. In the firelight, Elena could see him better. He was young, perhaps 30 years old. His face was handsome despite the bruises and cuts. His clothes, though ruined, were made of fine material. This was no ordinary traveler. "Who are you?" she whispered to the unconscious man. "What happened to you?" She worked quickly. First, she removed his wet coat and shirt. Her breath caught when she saw his injuries. Deep cuts covered his chest and back. Some looked like knife wounds. Others seemed to be from a terrible beating. This man had been attacked, and whoever did it wanted him dead. Elena gathered her supplies: clean cloth, hot water, healing herbs, and needle and thread. Her grandmother had taught her the healing arts before she died. Now Elena was the only healer in the small village of Ashford.